against that man, Mike Davis, plus 200
Sir,
underdog.
you ready? Sir, you ready? Fight!
As Davis makes his UFC debut, Gilbert Durinho Burns is in blue, Davis is in white.
Watch the calf kick of Burns. Excuse me, sorry, Andy.
That's quite all right. I was just going to say Davis had a pretty strong showing against Sadiq Yusuff last July on Dana White's Contender Series. He was a 3-1 favorite going into that fight, showed a lot of acumen on the feet, and then had a big win in December that helped punch this UFC ticket that he's cashing in here tonight.
Burns really likes to go early to find his range with kicks. That's how he starts his range, and then he starts letting his hands go. That calf kick is a big weapon for him to get his range, and we already seen him land it once. There's 2 attempts, and that's where he starts trying to figure it out. When they start checking it, he decides how they react, and then he comes up with his offense following that calf kick, being Gilbert Burns.
Davis thought Gilbert Burns may overlook him, especially when it comes to the wrestling and his ability to get up. He didn't feel like Burns was going to be able to hold him down if indeed he took him down. So far, we are on the feet about a minute in.
That is the tough part about takedowns, is keeping him there, I'll tell you that.
Good sign there as the takedown defense for Davis holds up and lands a nice knee to the body on the way out. Davis was an outstanding high school wrestler, wrestled for 10 years, took his first amateur MMA fight at 16. Davis replacing Eric Wisely here tonight. Nice shot there by Burns. And Davis can't stay upright.
And if you're gonna get up from your knees on a takedown, you definitely don't want to give Gilbert Burns your back. That is the one thing you don't want to give him. So we've got to see Davis be very meticulous and smart here with his decision-making, because if Burns get those hooks in right there, if he gets those in, he could burn the clock the whole time or get the finish in this first round.
And
there's
the
one
Brazilian
hook.
contingent here in South Florida being heard from early. Under 3 minutes here, round 1.
He's got one hook in, and now you're going to see Brandon Davis try to control the hands. As you see, Gilbert Burns controlling that far side arm. Hand control, leg control, that hook in. That's key. Davis wants to smear Gilbert Burns off of him by using the fence, putting his left shoulder up against the fence, getting his left butt cheek on the floor, and getting that left leg out from Gilbert Burns' control.
Looks like Gilbert Burns is having a conversation with UFC Women's Bantamweight champion Amanda Nunes, who just arrived. And while he was doing that, Mike Davis able to work his way back to his feet. Burns said that Charles Oliveira, Beneil Dariush, and Alexander Hernandez all turned him down. Mike Davis got his attention there. Oh, big counter right from Burns.
Davis timed a good right hand on the calf kick of Burns, and then they started trading. Right in that trade, Davis got caught, and he said, you know what? Let's get out of this phone booth and let's start scrapping from the outside again. Enough of this. Ooh, good right hand by Burns. And he's doubling up on the jab and following with his right hand well. Comes the kick again soon. There it is. You could see when he's gonna throw it because he's pulling Davis into it. And now Davis is done. He's ate about 3 of those to the calf. He's gonna stop pressuring forward as much, and now you're gonna see Gilbert Burns be able to tee off from the outside the way he wants to. That's why he starts that calf kick early.
Oh, a couple nice uppercuts and a right hand from Gilbert Burns. Mike Davis retreats.
Nice 1-2. Burns getting the rhythm. Now he's got to be careful not to get overzealous because Davis has a lot of power in his hands. And when you're trading like this, anybody can go down. So you got to be smart, be tactical here. Nice right hand by Burns.
And you see Gilbert Burns continuing to attack the lower half of that lead leg of Davis. He has been susceptible to that weapon in the past, particularly in the Sadiq Yusuff fight.
Well, what's interesting about it is Gilbert Burns uses that calf kick almost like a jab because the leg's sticking out so far. If you could touch that calf, you now know the distance to your opponent to land your hands. And so it's very smart. It's like a jab finder. Nice counter right hand by Burns. Another one.
Pete White in the corner of Mike Davis wants him to come forward. He gets taken down again.
Good timing, and this is just being tactical, as I said. Why sit and trade when this guy's chasing you and trying to nail you? Take him down, put him on his back, stop the onslaught. Very nice by Burns. Good control here up against the fence. Knee on belly, doing damage.
Oh, big elbow from Gilbert Burns. Man, those 5 minutes ripped off the clock. Round 2 coming up next on ESPN. You know, I wonder how long I'd be out for if I ate one of those.
Just, you know, let's not even think about it for you, Joey.
All right, round 2 underway. I want to bring in the coach, Trevor Whitman. Trevor, your thoughts on the round, the corner work, what do you got for us?
Man, that kick. I almost lost my thought process, but I listened to Davis's corner, and they said they wanted him to drop levels a little bit so Burns doesn't get underneath him. But the one thing with that, you're going to deal with those low kicks. And that's the one thing when you start to base your legs a little bit more. But Burns is just so good at getting inside and making a fight. And we listened a little bit to Burns' corner, and Burns, they said go at him in this first minute of the round as you see him.
Thank you, Trevor Whitman, who, of course, a couple weeks away from cornering Rose Namajunas in her next title defense against Jessica Andrade. 3 early takedowns for Burns.
Now this position, very familiar. We just saw Jim Miller in this position. And this is a back take, basically, back mount. And with basically the zip tie lock, I call it, it's body triangle. It's sucking the air out of the lungs of Davis. Davis has to get to his back here. He's never going to escape. He needs to roll to his back, yes, and he needs to get Gilbert Burns' foot on the other side of his body, as he's doing right now. He's rolling over, boom, and he'll tap it to the floor. Now he can get underneath the leg, as you're seeing here, of Gilbert Burns to try to break the lock. Good defense by Davis, but now he's got to worry about his neck because he let his hands down, and that's where Gilbert Burns starts to attack. So it's very, you got to be equal. You got to be balanced here with where you fight the hands and where you fight the legs and when you decide to do it. And Gilbert Burns is one of the best at keeping the back mount. So it looks like a long 3 minutes coming from Davis.
This is a 4-time jiu-jitsu world champion, Gilbert Burns, working off of the back of Mike Davis.
Watch the triangle here. He's going to transition up. Davis felt it, was able to get an underhook. And we got half guard control from Gilbert Burns, puts his head into the fence, and you're gonna see him look for probably mount here eventually, but right now Burns is okay with just sitting here, keeping the pressure, making Davis carry his weight, and then you'll see him methodically work up the body towards the head, and that being Burns.
A lot of knockouts of late for Gilbert Durinho Burns. Last submission win came in 2016, last UFC bonus in 2015 against Alex Oliveira.
Now Burns is going to look to throw that hook in again here. As you see, there's that hook. And then what he'll do is he'll try to control the right arm of Davis. Davis doing a good job staying shelled up in a little ball so that no hooks can get in. What I like about Burns, you see how he went underneath both armpits there instead of staying over one arm and under the other?
Yep.
That allows the control so he can get this back take here. I mean, just perfect technique in these grappling transitions. That's the hardest thing, is keeping people down. And this is what Davis wasn't sure if Burns was going to do, but actually this is Burns' best gift, is keeping people there after he gets the takedown. Davis doing the right things. He's trying to scoop underneath the foot of Burns here. For those of you at home who don't know what's going on, this is a very tough position. Burns is squeezing the air out of the lungs of Davis on the ground here, and he's able to punch him, and Davis has to get those legs off his belly if he's going to get out of here. It's very tough.
How about the open-handed strikes? Nice slap across the face. Under 2 minutes here to go in our second round. Burns and a lot of his teammates continuing to draw great inspiration from the newly minted welterweight champ Kamaru Usman. Nice right hand from Durinho.
This is what I mean by if you take the back, you can burn the clock, because Gilbert Burns is winning this fight. He's doing damage. It's not a ton of energy he's using, and he's able to just control this position here until he gets the opening for the finish. But, I mean, look at how many shots Davis has to eat without being able to defend himself.
Right.
It's just such a pain in the neck, no pun intended.
And Burns has worked really hard to be able to keep up this pace. Cardio outstanding. Last time out.
That's in, ladies and gentlemen. That's all she wrote.
Back to the bread and butter. Gilbert Durinho Burns by submission. Eighth UFC win for Gilbert Burns, who takes care of business against Mike Davis here tonight. Once it's official, it'll be the 3rd career win by rear naked choke for Gilbert Durinho Burns, Made it look pretty easy tonight, Dom.
Gilbert Burns is just the man when it comes to the groundwork. That's all you could say. Look at this technique. If you want to learn how to strategically take somebody out after you take their back early in the round and be patient with the finish, this is how you do it. You soften them up, you beat them up a little bit, you know, kind of like you're trying to make a hamburger. Just squish down that patty, and then eventually you throw in the choke. As you see here, Gilbert Burns throws it in. Look at the head position of himself. Look how he locks that hand in with his chin. Perfect technique, beautiful finish by Burns.
It's a pretty good analogy out of you, Tom, not gonna lie. So Gilbert Burns, his first pro win came by rear naked choke. His 15th comes by way of that same submission. We'll talk to Durinho after this as the prelims continue live.